Welcome, one and all. We're here. That's your intro. You would think I would think of an intro before we start, but
You
here
would
we
never
are.
have guessed, 10 seconds ago, we were talking about classical music.
Barely.
No.
So vaguely talking about classical music.
I think everyone was just everywhere. We're waiting for it.
It's like that sometimes. So, welcome. A couple of introductions. We're here to play Blades in the Dark. Yeah. Welcome to Legends of Aqquar, Secret in Shadows. I will be your game master, Zins. I go by they, them. And we can go down in whatever order. I don't want to say Discord order, because it will change. Let's just, in any order possible. Yeah, okay.
Why is it
No,
Discord
okay,
order
no,
gonna
no,
change?
Warloff, you do know you're pointing with your camera on the overlay is not working, right? You were pointing off.
Basically, like
We gotta
Warlock
do something
first.
like this.
Immediate
DM,
chaos.
Roll for first.
We're back.
No, oh god. What?
Roll for
What
first
did I expect?
introduction.
Okay,
fuck
Warlock,
you,
go.
Ace. Go first.
I'll go. Oh, okay, yeah. It's kind of weird not going first, so yeah, I'll just take the spotlight. Hi, I'm Ace, he, him, and today I'll be playing Lady Cressidae. Which always have room for you, honey.
Nice. Other picking on people. Luna, this isn't a good order.
Oh. Okay, I'm Luna, any pronouns, and I'm playing Eunice, using they, she, and he pronouns.
Whoop.
I don't
Alright.
know who's next.
Warlock.
Hello, I am Warlock / Mariana. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Eli Ronar. Roneric? That last name is
We'll
using
get
some
there.
work.
Work in progress.
She uses she, her pronouns.
Alright, cold.
What's up? I'm Cold. I'm playing Alistar. Both pronouns he, him. And let's see how we destroy this world.
God damn it. Minty.
Arson! That's how we're gonna destroy it.
Hello, I'm Minty, they, him pronouns. I play Ben, very much down on his luck person, who will not be shanking any kings this time.
Unfortunately.
Sadly.
X.
I am Ix, she, they, and I will be playing Gregor, he, him, a Goliath, just labor worker, whatever you call that.
Alright,
I
so
completely forgot about race. And then
no, don't worry.
Brow
About it.
lesbian.
Don't worry about it. So before
We'll get there.
before we start real quick, just some housekeeping bits. First of all, as the content warnings on Twitch, this game is in a darker setting. There will be descriptive violence, references of both drug abuse and selling. So just as a heads up, this is your content warning. This is not a under 18 show, at least it's not designed to be. So
Or at least our language.
exactly. So as well, we are 7 random people. That's it.
Yeah.
This is not in any way, shape, or form a full production. And we recognize that. Of course, any support is appreciated. However, this is just a home game. We're doing this for fun. So,
We're just here to have fun.
yeah, we're not gonna be harassing or being mean to anyone today. That shouldn't have to go without saying.
No real people.
If you know
Yeah.
us today, hit us up in 7 years, because we will be famous by then.
Let's
I
go.
cannot guarantee
Highly doubt
that.
it,
No.
but okay.
I can. If we
Come
have
on,
enough
guys, with the next
confidence,
critical
it will
role, we gotta get
happen.
that confidence.
No, we're not.
No, I'm sorry. Those are professional voice actors. They're famous somewhere
We're
else.
getting there.
We're
We're getting there. No, we're not.
Hey, these guys are in their late 30s and 40s or whatever. We got some time.
Okay, yeah, if you
excuse
want to
me,
say
I'm in my early
relatively,
30s. I'm not getting there.
That's sad. I'm sorry.
that's it.
Oh.
Okay,
I
so
meant I meant that's negative. Like that's
So-
pessimistic.
So the rest of us will become famous, and then we'll make Cold famous by association. Cold will be
Cole can be the manager.
no. Cold will be the Kardashian.
Anywho, so
Chaos
moving
begins
on.
again.
Yeah, chaos intro, whatever. Fuck.
We've not done this in some time.
We
It's
haven't.
literally been a month.
It's
2
been
months?
83 years.
So
And I can still hear her voice.
we are going to start.
It's like they're still here.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We are going to start off our game. The city of Lionsbrooke is in no way bright, both physically and metaphysically theming. We are going to start our game in arguably one of the darkest places of the city. Down in the southern reaches of the Verdant Sea, there is a small chapel-like building. Not devoted to a god or faith, simply devoted to the act of one's death. With the, of course, thematic rain dropping and cascading off of leaves in these massive treetops, we center on a group, maybe 10 people max, at a funeral. All dressed in either black or whatever else they could scrounge together in a semblance of tidiness of their clothing. And at the center, we have this shorter, older man, wrinkled, grayed hair that's kind of combed over very horribly, maybe like 4 or 5 strands, almost cartoonishly across his forehead. As he kind of addresses the crowd, you see he's like physically almost caved in, like he has maybe days to live, if you would just guess. Though, despite this, it seems like he's got some sort of energy.
Is this his funeral?
Unfortunately not. As he addresses the crowd. Today we are here, gathered to celebrate the life of Mr. Vincent Cross. He was a generous man. Not young by any means, but still nonetheless gone too soon. He leaves behind a company, aspirations, and a goal beyond our city. And as this rambling goes on, we are going to center to our first player. Ace, can you please describe Cressidae in this moment?
Lady Cressidae is a female Goliath, with like silver hair and always wearing like a pinstripe suit and like a gold bow tie. And basically to sum her up in a few words is fancy and posh.
Alright. So, fancy and posh in this very damp, mucky spot. What is currently going through Cressidae's head at this point?
She's kind of upset because like Mr. Cross was the one that helped her get into business and like away from her family. Like he was like her sponsor, and like it's sad to see him go.
Those thoughts going through your head, we are going to flash back merely a day before. As you are in your building, your room in particular, your kind of section of this large row housing unit, which you own. And there is a letter kind of slipped under the door as it kind of almost is ejected with such force it kind of like floats down and into the main of this room you are currently in, this kind of mudroom area.
My, what could this be now?
Opening it, it is addressed to you, full first and last name. Its contents read, Dear Miss Cressidae, If this missive makes its way to you, I have died. While I cannot say with absolute certainty, I have reasonable suspicion that it was not by accident nor an unnatural cause. Our past business has more than proven your trustworthiness in sensitive issues. My death is not and will not be the beginning. There is more to come. Search out what you can. Avenge me. But keep caution. As I've learned, death is always around the corner. Signed, Mr. Vincent Cross. Going back to this funeral scene, you're sitting, the letter's still kind of buried in your back pocket, or even your inside coat pocket, more likely. And you're watching this old man kind of stumble over words, making it increasingly more eloquent, as if he's trying to, like, pad for a word count. Definitely paid by the hour is what you're thinking. And we are going to center on a very similar next player. Ix, can you describe Gregor?
So, Gregor's a gray-skinned Goliath, as I said, with markings above his eyebrows and up above and all the way back around his head. He's not necessarily emotional, like he's still, of course, somber, upset that someone died, however it may be. Someone he knew, not necessarily close to, but he's, it's still relatively somber. He's one of the people who have kind of put together what they can for their black clothes. Just kind of like the dressiest black shirt he can, blackest pants he can. Most likely, definitely has some oils or dirt on it to make it black. That such blackest shoes you can find. Just kind of being there.
Grease.
Yeah, it's probably very stiff when he stands. You can kind of see the wrinkles from where he sat. There might be a black stain. He might have just dyed it black to make it black. Dyed pants. But he's more being a support for Eunice at this point, while also still being upset that someone died.
Yep. So, Gregor, we are going to flash back to the exact same day as Cressidae, in the exact same building, as you're in your apartment, your small area of this row housing. The outside is pretty much in the middle, or the border between Bridgeton and Midton. It's not in any way a fancy establishment, but it is as much as you can. Cressidae has made do as much as she physically could. And you're in this kind of smaller, almost cabin area, similar to what you would see like on a cruise ship. These row housing is not like... It's not semi-divided housing. It is literally like apartment buildings that are 2 stories and are more long than tall. And as you awake, it is very early in the morning. You're getting up, about to go to one of your shifts. And similarly, you see a letter fly with force under the door and sit.
I look at it for a second and then maybe peek out, see if anybody's around.
Yeah, you peek out the door, and you do notice people. Like, it is quite early, but similarly, there's a lot of working class people in this apartment complex. And you see just out of the corner of your eye on one side, walking away, not rushing, not running in any way. There is a rather tall, you see a visibly sharp-eared person, as their ears kind of go outwards from under a small bowler hat as they make their way out of the building.
Okay. He's gone. They're gone, so I'm
Mhm.
just gonna close my door and I guess. How much longer till I have to work?
You have maybe how long would Gregor leave himself to go to work?
Depending on how long it takes, probably an extra 10 minutes. So if he has the 10 minutes to spare, he's gonna
Open it.
open it and read it.
It's not a thick letter. You can almost guarantee it's like a page max. And as you open it, it is a very similar start. If this missive makes its way, I have died. With a large part of the first paragraph the same, with minor deviations. Cressida has spoken to your strength of character. This task I ask of you to undertake will surely require it physically as well. My death is not the beginning, as it continues the same way. So, going back to the funeral. Sitting there, would you have anything on you? Like anything visibly on you?
Maybe like a small pouch or anything that might be able to carry like flowers.
So you kind of have like a bouquet like tucked under your shoulder kind of deal.
Yeah, something to put with either the casket as it goes down or to put in the casket. I'm assuming this is after the visitation.
Yeah, this would be the actual lowering of the casket at this point.
Yeah, this would be to put on the casket.
So you're standing there with this thing of bouquet, like a bouquet of flowers. I don't know why that took me so hard to say.
Okay.
Bouquet of flowers. You're kind of tucking it under your shoulder. Next to you, Eunice. Luna, can you describe Eunice to us?
Eunice is also Goliath. Let's just not talk about that. And they have like deep brown skin and black hair. It has sort of these shimmering strands in it. They have gray eyes that are sort of flecked with pretty much all the colors of the rainbow. And I think they are definitely one of the people who like have black clothes. They're definitely dressed in this like very churchly fashion, like
Mm-hmm.
blouse, like the skirt, like the hat with the little veil on it. Um,
Not your
and
first funeral.
no, and I think they have a somber sort of expression and demeanor, but that is like kind of rare-ish for them. They sort of have this that's sort of rare for them, and they um as this was someone that they kind of were working towards a relationship with, so they do have some sort of uh like grief for them a little bit.
So, as Eunice is standing there, hearing these words, Gregor beside you kind of just as emotional support of being a presence. We flash back to you. Now, where would you say Eunice would be at early morning on her regular day? Would it be in her apartment complex, or would it be, I don't know, maybe a laboratory?
I want to say like if it's really early, we're probably in their apartment still.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, you are receiving a very similar letter. Reading the exact same start. If this missive makes its way to you, I have died. with skipping the first paragraph because I don't want to say it 6 times. Your ingenuity and resourcefulness will be invaluable for the task at hand. My death is not the beginning. Going back to the funeral scene, we have the 3 current revealed characters. So at this point, I'm just going to ask, how are they interacting with each other? If at all.
I realized I made a mistake earlier. I meant to say being supportive for Cressidae.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Damn.
learning names,
Mhm.
and I'm offering it to Eunice, of course, if they need.
I mean, we
But
all
I
live in the
see
same
how-
apartment building.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
But
a
I see
friend
how-
situation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so I'd be with Cressidae, Miss
Mhm.
Cressidae, reporting how I can, and also making sure Eunice is okay. Kind of, if we're close, right between them, making
Probably.
sure they're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're further away, I'll hop back and forth where I can.
All right. Going to our... I'm unsure if this is our last Cressidae Apartments what's it? Resident? That's the word I wanted. Mariana, would you like to describe Eliel for us?
Eliel is a average height, well-built, purple-skinned elf whose eyes appear to be just voids.
Yep.
She's wearing pretty much all black clothes with a crimson lining, but it looks like she wears them basically every day. There's enough dirt and stuff caked onto them to where, yeah, she walks around town with those. Yeah, that's all I got.
So, what would Eliel be thinking during this funeral?
Not a lot initially. She's dealt with funerals before. We'll leave it at that.
Cool. And once again, flashing back to the exact same building. I cannot stress how much this is the same apartment complex. Eliel, you are woken up extremely similarly, with a actual full knock on the door and then a letter.
Just a moment, please.
As there is no answer.
Fucking, it's too fucking early for this. All right. What's the mail brought in?
If this missive makes its way to you, I have died. You've been trustworthy in the past and have done good work before. My death is not the beginning. So that being said, does this letter and its contents at all change your answer from what Eliel is expecting at this funeral?
She's not happy. Very much not happy. But
Alright.
not really.
It's kind of that same, like, Total Recall kind of I've been here before. This is not the first nor last time I will be doing this.
She's kind of just there to help support people who need it.
Alright. Cold. Can you please describe Alistar to us?
Alistar does not have many choices when it comes to funeral clothing, So the most black he is wearing is his trench coat. It is a very long black trench coat. He's wearing a black beanie, which is holding his very long curly hair. It's pretty much just covering his eyes at this point. And underneath that, you can see like the peeking of a brown shirt, cargo pants, and boots. Um, and that's just Alistair.
All right. So, and please, do you live in the same apartment complex? I don't think so.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Look,
If
hey,
we
what
can't
do I
all have
say?
A names,
Good
we need to at
apartments.
least live in the same apartment.
Look,
okay?
you fucked me over last time.
We're gonna get
Hey,
We're gonna get
it's
you
not
one
my
way or
fault.
another.
Cressida is just a really good landlady.
she was really good.
In that case, Cold, where would we find Alistar in the early morning?
In the early morning, um, probably still in the heart, just running his business, doing what he does best, and trying to sell his merchandise to make some ends meet.
Would you like to be more vague?
No, I would love to be just as vague as this.
All right. So, as you are showing off your wares, you are approached by a very tall man with extremely pointy ears that kind of flop down at a bowler hat. As he looks at you, pulls a letter from his jacket, hands it.
I grabbed the letter.
He kind of nods his hat and keeps on walking down the street.
Completely confused. I opened the letter in a direction downwind, not pointing at my face.
So as you just kind of very cautiously lift open the seal, and nothing happens.
All right. Peek inside and pull out the contents.
If this missive makes its way to you, I have died. Passion and aspirations are things we cannot lose in this city. Do not let it go. My death is not the beginning. So, at this point, what is Alistar, going through, sitting at this funeral, knowing these words?
So, mostly two things. One, surprised this person knew about me at all. And two, I wish I could have picked his brain before his passing because I would have loved to talk to someone that is what I would consider one of the freest people in the world, in the city.
And last but not least, Minty, would you like to describe Ben?
All right. Ben is fairly tall, but pale-skinned elf with impressively pointed ears. Rather thin for any person, though, kind of bordering on unhealthily so. He's well dressed in I wouldn't say fancy, but I would say a little bit more on the formaler side of formal clothing. And they have a handcuff with both cuffs on one of their arms. He is standing off to the side and definitely not wearing any black.
So, as of 24 hours ago, where was Ben?
Ben would have been in a sort of, I would say, listless stupor, just walking through the city and just like looking at the state of things as he is going through it.
So going through, kind of awestruck throughout the heart, looking at these massive skyscrapers going 20, 30 floors, things you didn't even conceptualize. And in your kind of wonder, you are kind of bumped by a figure as
Excuse me.
a slightly taller person looks down at you, bowler hat flopping their ears down, as they press a letter into your chest.
Ben takes it.
Nods and walks like nothing happened.
Ben gracefully opens up the letter, making sure not to damage the seal at all, and as well as the paper to it, and reads through it.
If this missive makes its way to you, I have died. I do not claim to know why there was a breakdown of communication between our last interaction. However, the need is great. My death is not the beginning. And with
Ben,
that,
Ben crumples up the letter and shoves it into his pocket.
and with that, we will all recollect present day into this funeral. Around the area are only 3 other people attending besides your not pastor, more like a social worker than anything, as they keep on this spiel, there's an H, spiel, of the life and death of Mr. Vincent Cross. There are the 3 people that are very noticeably different from each other. It is not hard to spot 3 people in a crowd of 3 people. So they are each kind of standing out in their own way. It's not hard to recognize any sort of expressions, emotions, demeanors. As one of them, you see, is the most objectively bereft out of everyone. As you see, a thinner, kind of green-skinned, tusks just barely poking out of the bottom lip, as a very gaunt half-orc young man is standing in a very clean black suit, a red tie going down, 3-piece, the vest, the jacket, everything, as they are kind of sitting on a very moldy kind of garden chair that they have at this this graveyard, and is just kind of thinking with their hands clasped together to their face. Additionally, there is a annoyed older woman, as long red hair kind of goes into a very tight bun. Same black dress, very formal, very churchly, kind of similar to Eunice. Her hat being at least twice as large, physically making shade for the rest of her face. It kind of works as an umbrella to the rain. And a third, very visibly drunken man, as it is a human who is just kind of leaning on the chair of the half-orc with one hand, in a kind of navy, it looks like a water-resistant trench coat, and a small kind of scar going from atop their eyebrow kind of down around their temple. And the 6 of you, each with your own letters, hear the older man at front giving this procession a announcement, kind of finishes. I'm sure every one of you was close to Mr. Cross. I have been made aware that many of you have been contacted prior to this event. Please, if you can now, make yourselves known. I am sure he has given you wishes that need to be answered. Good day. As you see, he kind of leans on his own hip as he steps down from a little kind of dirt pedestal that's been like a mound and walks into the chapel-like building onto the side, leaving the 6 of you and the 3 other guests alone in the rain. What is our first course of action?
Has the casket been lowered?
At this point, it would have been lowered during the spiel.
Okay.
Spiel.
Do I see Eunice in this group?
Is there a grave set yet, or has it
Okay.
not been?
So, Cold, you would 100% notice Eunice in this group.
Okay.
Minty, there's not a grave set, but there is currently, like, it is an open grave currently with the casket inside. There has been not enough time to pass for the dirt to go over. There is that kind of mound that would later cover. So,
Cressida is gonna come up to where the casket is and just like grab a single flower from her pocket and lay it down.
the kind of thinner orc man just kind of nods to you as that happens.
I'm gonna walk up and drop a whole fucking wreath of white flowers in there.
Just produce a wreath and just kind of frisbee toss it into the grave.
I'll walk up to Eunice and just let them know if they need to get the edge off. I have their prescription whenever they need it.
Eunice kind of nods and, like, in a way, disregards you, just because this
Okay,
is
not the time.
so, like a, like kind of like in a like time and place kind of situation.
Hey, this dude's buried. Want some drugs?
Hey yo.
Alright, cool, he's in the ground now. Let's get to business.
Yeah.
Ben walks up to the grave and just stares down, contemplating if he should flip it off, piss in it, or just do nothing.
That's
Whoa.
a range of emotions.
Gregor's gonna walk up beside Cressida, put a hand on her shoulder, and then, as gently as one can throw flowers down, gently throws the flowers into the grave.
How do you do that with the one arm on the shoulder?
Don't worry about
Shut
it.
up!
Which,
Not me forgetting I
That's
had one
how.
arm.
yeah, I was about to say that
Totally
does. I was about to say I was wondering when you were gonna bring it up in the description, and you didn't.
Look, I've only played
He
characters
does it
who
very carefully. That's how.
The quote in my thing says, "You'd be surprised what can get done with one arm."
Uh,
That's how we're
a
explaining
sex
it.
yes.
joke.
So,
Oh,
for
well,
reference, would you like to
mhm.
describe it, or should I?
So, rewind my character description. Gregor only has a single arm. It is cut off just below the shoulder. I believe we've discussed.
like
I think-
here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of around here. It is his. He is missing his left arm.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, I don't know my lefts from rights, man. I forgot
I'm
what
just
arm
looking
I'm missing,
at your
apparently.
character art
It's
and
just
did like
left.
this to check.
Yeah.
Rewinding again, a detail all of us skipped
Actually,
out.
he'd be
We
missing
all
his right arm then. So he's missing his right arm just below the shoulder.
We're all missing an arm.
No one has limbs.
Collectively, we make up 2 people.
Woo!
The rest are all just ghost limbs.
Yeah.
The
We're
bottom
just
half
hired
of
ghosts.
the bottom half of Ben is actually an octopus.
Someone's car is going
Hold.
off.
Someone's being robbed.
Oof.
It's the car alarm outside, my bad.
We are all being
Um,
robbed.
Yeah, no. Gregor is missing
I
his
have nothing left.
left
to rob.
arm from just out below the shoulder and down.
All right.
So any shirts he wear that is long sleeve are tied up and tucked in to make it look like he's not just has no like it's
loose
not just
sleeve,
a
yeah.
yeah.
It's not just flopping.
So
Right.
it is tucked up and put aside. Safety measures in the workplace has got him into the habit of tying it back. So he pats her shoulder and then puts the flowers in because he has just enough of an arm to tuck stuff under his armpit.
So at this point, everyone kind of congregating near the grave, you start hearing the older, scarred man, the very intoxicated one, just kind of lean and kind of almost impose over this this younger orc. So, Uncle's got money, huh? Well, where? I'd love to know where, because, he promised me a solid portion. Like, a reasonable portion, and I don't think you understand
Lad,
that's
Get out of
now
here,
is
kid.
not the time for that.
Get out of here, kid.
Do you
Are
have
you
no
calling
respect
me
for this
kid?
man? How tall is this dude?
He's a solid 6 foot flat.
Oh, I still look down on him by
Yeah,
a great deal.
I am looking down on him too.
Look, I don't know who the fuck you think you are.
Child, I am at least 6 times your age. Frankly, you will always be a child to me.
I do not care, to be frank.
And
Hearings of the will happen after the funeral, lad. You can wait it out, or you can come back in about, I'd say, 15-20 minutes.
Alright. I'm gonna try and be as calm as I can currently. I signed a contract with this one here's uncle. That contract never was fulfilled. That being said, the only next of kin, this man over here, and you see he kind of like pokes his shoulder with one finger, is now responsible for said contract. Do you have objections?
so the sorry man left behind an even sorrier little nibbling, huh?
I'm not nearly inebriated enough to deal with you.
I could use
I don't
some more
have
too.
any. I don't have any respect for you. Deal with you at this moment.
That is
Right.
completely fine. Honestly, I'd rather you not respect me, frankly.
Oh, trust me. Any respect I have would be long gone by now.
We are well past that point.
Look, and you see at this point the orc who's been kind of referenced as the nephew of Cross, just kind of still standing there, like not mentioning anything. As
I
this...
go up to the nephew and just like, "Are you okay, honey?"
No, I'm fine. I mean, he has a point, unfortunately. It's not a well-worded point, but it's a point. Oi, fuck you!
Words are hard. That's why we go to school sometimes.
At this point, this is the older man. How about I reset? My name is Captain Nolan Ranos.
Cool.
Yes.
Do you
yeah,
think
it's an
any of us
introduction.
would have any need for this man's money? You will get no objection from me for you obtaining his funds.
Good. I was promised them. I have signed a contract. I have been paid and then did not get the money of that pay.
So we are no next of kin. I'd wager. Yeah, none of
That's
us
why
look like
he's-
this man.
That's why he's talking to the little one.
And as we were saying earlier, all you have to do is wait 10 minutes for the hearing.
Yeah. See
If
who
you have a
actually is
modicum of patience,
responsible for
you
the
will get
airplane.
your money.
As he kind of waves you off, continues into the chapel. At that point, the younger man. Oh, sorry about him. As he kind of lifts himself up, kind of at a 6'2" stature, kind of like the barely poking out of a tusk on the lower lip. His hair is kind of swooped down and out. You're not sure if it's been like greased, but it very much looks like a sleek, shiny black. I'm Jonas. I'm the nephew of Mr. Cross.
It's more than enough. I've dealt with far worse than him.
I don't consider him worse in any means. No, he's pretty shitty. Look, I would just like to no longer be awake today, I think. I'm pretty sure that's reasonable.
That's more than reasonable, honey.
Alright, let's find out what I get. As he walks into the chapel.
I have a quick side question.
Yes.
I think I was trying to take notes at the same time. The orc is Jonas,
Jonas, yes.
and the drunk Jonas.
Do you spell that with a-
Y-U-N-A-S.
Do you spell that with a Y or a J?
J.
Oh, okay. There we go. And then the drunk man was Captain Nolan Rudolph.
Ranos.
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 Okay. I just want to make sure so I'm not confusing my notes.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Shoot off the drunken reindeer.
No,
So,
absolutely not.
at this point,
No.
are we all following him into the chapel?
Say
Yeah.
so.
I don't see why not.
No. Ben's just walking away.
Cool. Does Ben have a certain goal in mind to this walking, or is he going to stay in the general area?
He's staying in the general area, going back to the seats and sitting down.
Alright. So at this point, the will reading occurs, and it is announced that all physical possessions will go to Jonas, and that is it. There is nothing else in the will. Something that was pointed out specifically is the penthouse apartment of Mr. Cross would also go to Jonas. So at that point, now that it has been confirmed, you see Captain Ranos just kind of clap a hand on the shoulder of Jonas. All right, so I waited my 10 minutes.
I think I'm gonna step out and check in with Ben.
All right. So before we go to that, inside the chapel, the red-haired woman is still just kind of in the back of a pew. As you see, she's kind of currently like on a kind of notepad, not necessarily taking notes, but it looks like she's working on something completely separate this whole time. Like almost as if she couldn't stop writing things down. So, at this point, have the people who received their letters made themselves known to each other at this point?
I think so.
believe so.
I don't think
I feel like
I don't think we specifically said, "Hey, we're we're the guys with the letter." Like we all stood around the grave, but
Yeah.
I don't think we properly introduced each other.
So
Well, I know at least 3 of you know me.
yeah,
And I know
I might
one
have
person.
told Cressida, but that's probably it.
so we're gonna go outside to Alile and Ben at this point.
Nice to see that you're out of the block now.
That probably would have been better back in.
If
Nothing
that's
good.
how you feel, I
Nothing-
can't really sway you on that.
Nothing good has come out of this. An odd coincidence that I'm finally out, and this is what I'm greeted with.
Of the funerals, it's one of the more tame ones I've been to.
Of the funerals I've been to, this is the one I despise the most. Ben gets up and walks back towards the grave. Here I am, the pointed figure of all my fury, just slipped away before I could get a word in edgewise. Doesn't fate make you laugh sometimes?
Yeah, I've been in a similar situation, believe it or not. It's been a while since we've seen each other, hasn't it?
Yes. Let's see. Last I saw you, I was getting thrown into solitary for getting a knife to the shoulder and attacking back.
Yeah, they're not fond of us now, aren't they?
But they are not. So, I'm imagining you got a letter too.
Yeah. Received a letter. And fathom why, it's been, what, a year and a half since I worked with him last.
Did you enjoy it?
Hey, it was work.
What did you think of him? Can't say I've ever had the highest opinion of the man. His great-grandfather, though, was a nice one.
He was an employer. I worked with him. He sent me on some interesting jobs, I'll give him that. A few
Alright.
goose quests.
Alright.
What you planning to do after this?
I have no clue. I'm pretty much at my nothings now. For all
Well-
I know, the reason I came to this city no longer exists.
I mean, I have a warm bed if you're willing to stay with me for a while.
Better than out there. My first night, I could barely get a trance in. It's very sensory overload.
It's not the quietest place.
I will take you up on that offer. For the time being, I do not wish to overstay my welcome, of course.
I'm just glad you're finally out that hellish place.
It's less hellish if you sleep the whole time. But I believe we've had that conversation before.
We have.
To the chapel?
To the chapel.
So, reuniting back in this chapel. The arguing between... it's less arguing and more rigorous shouting from Captain Ranos towards Johann... Or, not Johann.
Eunice.
Has
Quick question.
not
How
stopped.
old does Jonas look?
Just judging, maybe like just turned 21. Like he is by all means like still a very young man.
A baby.
And how old is the captain?
Captain,
look?
look.
Easily mid-40s.
Sims, do I recognize the captain at all?
Hmm. We're gonna have our first roll of the night.
Let's go.
So, Cold.
Yippee.
I would like you to make a consort roll. This is going to be everything standard risky. You do not have a business towards this, or any bonus towards this. If you can convince me to use a different stat, I am all ears.
No, it looks like consort's the only thing. I'm not gonna study this man. All right. Risky, standard. All right. I'm pretty sure just 2d6 taking the lowest. Here we go.
What is that?
I got a double 6.
Oh,
Oh my-
all right. So,
This early.
Oh my
double
lord.
6.
Religion
You...
rolls again.
Okay.
I can only go down from here.
So,
That's fair.
Jesus. Yeah, okay. So that is a complete success. Unfortunately, it is not a critical, as you need to be good at a skill in order to crit in this game.
Understandable.
With that 6, you've definitely heard the name Ranos before. In fact, you are 90% sure. At one point when you were looking into the Aisling Exploration Commission, the company ran by Mr. Cross, you know that Captain Ranos was one of the kind of leaders on overseas expeditions. So this is somebody who was working directly under Vincent Cross and is quite a skilled sailor.
Excuse me. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So, moment of realization as Alistar's eyes just go wide, and then just kind of disappointed because he's coming off as such an asshole.
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, I don't have any particular form. All right, that's mostly what I. Okay.
All right. So Ben and Alile at this point just making their way into the chapel. What is everyone else doing in this scene?
I'm helping Cross's like nephew just with like contract matters, just to make sure like things are going smoothly.
All right. So you're just kind of over with Jonas being like, okay, you're trying to sort out exactly what might have been signed.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an optional role if you want to. You can make whatever
Okay.
role you want that would be relevant.
I think consort would be here because I'm just trying to get information on it, like,
Mhm.
and it's nice that I roll 3 dice for consort.
So in what way are you bringing this up to Captain Ranos? Like, how are you going to broach this subject before you roll?
Oh. I have a long history of dealing with contracts, and I know how to make sure things go smoothly on all ends. I could help make sure that the transfer of money is accurate, and we'll help you get it sooner than later.
Given that roll.
Okay. The highest dice was a 6.
All right. So with a complete success,
Mhm.
you're trying to talk down the captain at this point. You're explaining that you will genuinely help. As he starts up again about needing to get paid, this being a future job that has already been signed off on. And you talk about the transfer of money. And the second you say that out loud, you hear from the woman in the back, the red-haired woman with the massive hat, just kind of like stand up and call out, "Old bastard didn't use banks." Transfer of money. Sorry, that's incredibly rude of me. As she
Why is it matter?
holds a
He's
hand
dead.
out. As she holds a hand out, I am Carla Drossel. I'm a representative of Falk Industries.
Nice
I
to meet
know
you.
that's
I'm Vincent Cross today.
insensitive.
The transfer of money is extremely hard when you don't know where that money is. Which I think is mainly Mr. Rhinos' problem currently. There is a promise of money. That was how long ago, Captain? 4 months! 4 months ago I signed a paper saying I would be paid for an expedition. I have not been paid. I have over 20 crew members that also need to get paid. I cannot do that. I wish this was a selfish thing. I truly was. Because I don't want to have that responsibility on my back.
Then it becomes a matter of just locating where he kept his fortune, which I think the nephew can help us with.
I can?
Well,
Also,
I
you could have
assume-
just chosen a better day to do this.
Funeral's got to be one of the best days to do it. Everyone's gathered around.
Everybody knows where the man is.
That too.
There's just kind of like a silent agreement from Ranos.
I can't say it's not in poor taste to try to shake money out of a child, but I do quite get where you're coming from.
People do it all the time.
Money comes from where the money is.
Mm-hmm. Now,
You know, empathy.
empathy doesn't feed
empathy-
a crew.
Yeah, empathy is for those who can afford it.
yeah, they just kind of like point over to the two that are expressing the sentiment as they just kind of clap you on your shoulder. Well, my large friend, empathy is how do you say it? Like an honor system, but only by yourself. It's oh, I'll feel good about this because I did a thing, and you have to make sure you do the thing. But it's the follow through on that I'm not a big fan of, you see.
It's called waiting a day.
I think
Let
he's
him get
already...
his
waited 4
affairs in
months.
order. Let
He's
him find that contract that your business partner wrote up. So then he can follow through and say, hey, I found this contract my uncle has that says you were to get paid. Have you been paid? No? Cool. Give me another day or two to find this money because he doesn't use banks. You could wait a day and show some empathy for this man who just lost his uncle. And it seems to be his only family relative, considering I see nobody else from his family here.
Captain Ranos, you said. How many crew members did you say you had?
Over 20. 25 if I need it.
I understand empathy for the child, my dear, but at the same time, these are 20 people whose livelihoods may soon be lessened greatly.
What is
Okay,
their
but
family?
a question to you: if one of your relatives died and was being buried today, would you want someone hounding you during the funeral? It's a question for all of you. No, correct?
You
Ben's-
I
just
would love to see
hear
my family in the ground.
you just hear at
Ben's
this point
eyes glaze
Jonas
over.
Jonas just kind of like making himself as small as possible, like trying. At this point, he was in the middle of this conversation, as he
Is he
just
trying
kind of
to-
like pencils
started to
himself and
back
starts
away
to
out of
like,
it.
yeah,
Look,
kind of
some
just
of us
slowly
drag
back
the
out,
line.
and
I
he's
just
just like,
put a hand on his shoulder, like to comfort him.
it's like,
Is he trying to leave?
to be completely honest, I don't really care. Look, I could try and I genuinely don't know where the money is. He's been paranoid for the last, like, no, that's not even true.
Child, I'm going
It's
to.
been a while.
I'm go.
He's been that way for a while.
I'm going to give you advice that my dear father once gave me in a troubling time. Hire a lawyer.
Damn, we got a point though.
I look like I don't want to be here at all
Yeah,
anymore.
there's a lot of energy coming from a lot of spots in this chapel about just not exist.
Like, why
you
are we
see,
having this
the old
conversation?
man who had to read the will is just kind of still standing over at like the lectern, like not knowing what to do, almost like afraid to leave. Like,
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Sorry,
Oh,
I got
right.
mad.
I've got places to be, things to do. Hope you sort this out.
Jonas just kind of pipes up. Okay, wait, but who? No, okay, I got distracted very easily.
Wait, sorry to butt in, but I was coming in here assuming that my letter being called here was because I had something in the will for myself. Is
I
this
don't.
to the contrary?
I don't.
Oh, you got a
No.
letter too.
I just want to know why I got this letter. 'Cause
You cut out.
Who cut out me?
Cold.
No, cold.
I just wanted to know why I got this letter. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I got it in error.
So, how many of us have letters here?
I.
And the 6 of you raise your
Yeah.
hands.
Well, that's. Well, fuck.
Huh.
I mean, the I don't think I learned his name or title, but frankly, I don't care.
The old fuck.
Yeah, he was saying about there needing to be like a last wish fulfilled. I
Maybe
don't-
we'll find the money for. I forgot his name already.
The
My
captain.
name?
Just
Vincent
His
call him
name?
the captain.
The captain?
The nephew's name.
Random.
Ben,
Me,
Oh,
Jonas?
Jonas.
Yes.
Ben's mask of stoicism has completely slipped about the mention of a last wish. He looks downright ticked.
I mean,
I understand. You hush. You talk.
me?
Yes, you
And you're
do.
pointing to the nephew at this point?
Pointing to the nephew to talk. Pointing into the middle of the air to hush.
Oh,
Well,
Oh.
I don't know about look, my uncle had been increasingly more paranoid and secretive the months leading up to his death. I don't know why. He pulled out all of his money out of banks 6 months before. Even before this contract was signed, he didn't have any sort of trail. I don't know where it could be. He never told anyone. I can't just magic money out of thin air. Like,
Let me put it like this, child. If I am a standard affiliate of your uncle, then a great many people wished him death. I would start there.
what do you mean I start? I don't. What do you?
Look into
Hire
people who wanted your uncle
investigator.
dead.
Just hire an investigator. You're better off doing that instead
Hire
of
an
looking into it
investigator.
yourself.
But
Look around his apartment.
I mean, I wouldn't. I can let you guys in his apartment. Like I don't. I do not know what I'm doing. I do not have the same. Like I can't just go off hiring investigators. Also, who are you? I
pull out
don't
the
know
letter.
you.
I'm a random person that was invited here by your uncle.
You are,
Why?
wait, you are a cross,
Contract,
are you
sir.
not? I understand your uncle being the main benefactor of the Cross family, but you are saying that you have no financial means of your own? What
No,
happened to your family?
no. I'm my surname's Drove. I my
Heard it.
dad and my uncle were estranged, let's say, a while ago, before I was born, and I simultaneously learned that I had an uncle, and then that uncle died within a year. So,
Fuckwit. Ugh. That man was a fuckwit. Ugh.
yeah.
He definitely
Yeah,
stepped on a
he
lot of
was.
toes in business. Mainly those of people in the more wealthy quarters, we should say.
He was a right dumbass.
Okay, he is a dumbass. I know.
A better man could not have died.
Hey, Captain, I'm gonna propose
Wrong.
a temporary solution. I'll give you 10% of the money that he owes you, and I'll try and find the money. And when we find the money, I'll take the 10% that I'm gonna give you today, and you can get the 90% rest of your payments. Just so that you have something to give your crew. I completely forgot character voice.
Southern.
It's fine.
I know.
Yep. It's first session. It's gonna fluctuate.
We're working on it.
I've given up
Yeah.
with character voices.
Captain Ranos kind of looks. Ugh. Okay, that may be a temporary solution, but it can't be more than a week. It just can't.
I'll help you out on that, Chris.
Why
Thank
am
you,
I
Elliot.
still here? So what was this? Was this the last wish?
A
Oh yes,
scavenger
what
hunt.
was that?
Jonas is like, I don't know. I didn't get a letter. I didn't get a copy.
I guess we're hunting
And
for it.
immediately walks to the man who read the will.
Yeah.
Have
Oh, hello there.
Have you anything for me?
What do you mean?
Last wish and testament.
Last will and testament. Any wishes for Ben?
You see, he kind of like looks around, kind of pulls out the will again, looks through it. No physical possessions. I see nothing.
Any words? Any requests?
Anything
Oh.
that might seem out of the ordinary.
Oh no. I had skipped over this. I thought I had already said this during the coffin's lowering. It merely requests that all those who receive a letter follow the contents and see through it. Apparently, it leaves no details. I'm sorry.
My death is not to be.
Ben puts two fingers together and slams it hard against the table. So this old man wishes me to solve his death after all he's. Wow.
Guess we're going on a scavenger
Just-
hunt then.
Oh,
Ben cracks his fingers individually. Just when I thought he couldn't be a bigger thorn in my side. He goes in my time, even in death. I am out of here. Lyle, I will see you outside the.
See ya, Ben.
And then you leave. You see, Jonas is kind of like just kind of sitting there for a sec. I do not know what
Do you
that's
happen
about.
to have? I wouldn't get into it. No.
Okay.
Do you happen to have a key to the apartment?
Yeah. You see, he kind of pats himself down. Yeah. As he kind of on a ring. There's 2 keys. I can
May I
bring
borrow
you
it?
guys there.
That would be lovely.
Okay.
Well, does anybody else want to join into this investigation?
Yeah, I'm down for it.
I guess.
And Sings, hearing the name of Ben and Alile, Alistar has another moment of recognition and realization.
Mm-hmm.
And he just walks up to Alile real quick. We were in the block together, weren't we?
Probably.
Uh,
I was in there for a while.
yeah. I thought so. I just wasn't sure if it was.
What was your name again?
Name's Alistar.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I wasn't there for long. I was there for a little bit. I guess it's nice to see you again, and it's weird that we're both here. I guess the 3 of us.
Yeah. It's weird.
Alright, well, I guess let's go make a wish happen. Alright, let's do this.
Okay.
I hate that we
Make-A-Wish
describe this
Foundation?
as Vincent's Make-A-Wish. A retroactive Make-A-Wish.
The first Make-A-Wish?
No. Oh no, it's a little late.
Ben,
Is that Chewie I hear
is
in the
trying to
background?
Maybe.
Ben is trying to find any sort of light source and is holding up the crumpled letter against it to see
Come
any sort of hidden message.
So at this point, Ben, you would have to
Any
walk.
last.
You would have to walk fully out of the area of the Verdancy, this large, wooded, kind of like park almost, and hold it up to a, at this point, lit street lamp. So you're looking for any sort of hidden message kind of deal?
What did they do to the lamps in the city? Yeah. Yeah, Ben is holding it up to the light
Alright.
and just trying to this. He tries to feel for some sort of magic on it, but then his hand starts hurting. He's like, "Nope, can't."
As you're just kind of examining this paper, you find it remarkably irremarkable. It simply seems like ink on quill, or quill on paper. Quill in ink on paper.
Ben crumples it up again into a ball and pocket.
Yeah, you just kind of huck this piece of paper as it kind of almost immediately starts getting damp from the rain.
I don't advise livering.
So, as the
The
rest...
crows might get mad at you.
As the rest of the group walks out of the chapel, Jonas kind of holding the keys in his hands, you hear the captain from inside just kind of poke his head out, yell, "A week!"
I'm assuming I've already given him like a check at this point.
At this point, if you wanted to beforehand, you can absolutely.
Every time you say the captain, I'm just thinking of last campaign.
Captain Apostrophe.
So, at this point, We are going to move toward this apartment building. Ben, as you see this group pass, are you joining?
He is following behind at it.
All right. So, with that, we are gonna go on a short break. We will pick back up at the search of this apartment. We will see you in 10. Grab food, grab
Nice.
water, take a piss. We'll be back.
Okay.
control.
Pizza is a sandwich. I don't
God damn it!
It's a calzone.
No, it's not a calzone because a calzone is wrapped into like
Wait,
an
I had it
empanada.
on mute,
no.
so that was the
Pizza
first
is-
No, I know.
Wait,
I had
wait,
audio
no.
live, and you waited
No,
until I said
I
audio
We gotta discuss
live.
this. Why is
So-
it sushi
Plan.
instead of a burrito? Like,
Pizza
what
is
the-
toast because you have a
What?
slice of bread with stuff
It's
on
just
top of it.
one layer of bread.
Wait,
You just have the sauce smeared on and things to the toast.
no. Which
Yeah,
came
pizza's
first?
toast.
Okay,
Wait,
save this for the
Which came- I can go
podcast
back. I can
session.
go back.
No, I need this to be
I can go
answered.
back
Which
to where I
came
was going.
first, the sushi or the burrito? Because I feel like the
Technically
burrito.
sushi.
Sushi.
I think sushi. Yeah.
Technically,
Are we
I
sure?
think
Let's just
Sushi
say
is
that's the
not
easy.
answer.
And like, and I'm not meaning like nigiri sushi.
we'll
I-
call
I
this
mean
for
like,
now.
I mean like,
Like
you
the
can
roll?
Google it while we're playing,
Yeah.
Mindy.
Yeah, we can put it on the chat later. Though.
We will update.
We can turn this
people.
into a 1 a.m. session. It's fine.
Oh, all right.
You're welcome, Zin.
Yeah, all right. So that get it out of our system, as we are back. We are going.
Hey,
to
you're using this screen.
I can't wait to hear the
Yeah.
VOD.
So we are going to the heart of Lionsbrooke at this point, a bustling area, having to go around. We are not crossing through Bridgeton, as Jonas leads you around through paths of the quarter and blue block towards the heart. The more richer ends we're passing through. A lot of these are single detached homes, brilliant pillar work, a lot of artistry in the architecture. The street lamps perfectly unrusted, maintained, the fire still burning from the oil. And as we move into the heart, immediately, our view is kind of gravitated upwards as massive skyscrapers start to almost grow out of the landscape, the skyline. Jonas is going to lead you down, not too much into the center of the heart. In fact, it's actually quite close to Bridgeton. He just did not want to step foot on that bridge and went around. As he leads you to a quite large building, thin, almost like a perfect square that just goes straight up for 10 floors. Minty, you had a question?
Oh, sorry. No, I think I just cut out there. I will add this though. If anyone happened to notice Ben trailing behind them at this point, they would notice an absolutely perplexed and bewitched expression on his face, just staring up at the buildings.
All right. So, at this point, we make it towards this building. It's, yeah, as I said earlier, it's a square that's 10 floors up. The roof as a kind of half dome, half like pyramid cone that kind of ends in a large smokestack surrounding this cone. And the apartment of Mr. Vincent Cross is the very top penthouse. So as we enter, it's a fairly nice building. The metal kind of going over yellow painted walls and an Art Deco kind of aesthetic. The kind of reception front desk is manned by quite a lanky man, kind of in that short square rectangle hat, all in like a bluey purple kind of doorman outfit. As he's standing there, he sees the assortment of people here. Just to check, you guys went straight from the funeral. We don't have any stops, correct?
Not that I know of. I think we went
So
straight.
we still have the
I guess
muck
not.
and rain from the funeral site. As we make into this building, he just kind of looks at y'all weirdly. And you see Jonas kind of timidly just kind of raise his hand with the key around his finger and just shake it a bit. As he moves up towards the elevator. Gets in, kind of gestures everyone to do the same. Ben, what is your reaction to an elevator?
is there a view outside, or is it just like closed?
It's like
in?
one of the metal cage elevators.
Oh, okay.
So it's a closed crossbar door as it's locked by another doorman.
I'd rather not. Why are you guys getting into the cell?
What the
This
hell
is
is
a
this
lot better than a
contraption?
cell. It's a lot better than a cell. Come on, guys. It's really not.
But
It's nothing
it-
crazy.
it's
What
quite
the fuck
quite
is this?
obviously cell shaped. It's
The operator is just kind of standing there, just like.
In the
It's a
elevator.
transportation system, guys.
Oh,
It's called an
poor
elevator.
honey.
elevator, as
Yes,
in
elevator.
it,
As in, it elevates. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
It'll bring us up without having to go up the stairs.
What? What
um,
for?
I how I'm not there's no magic to this thing.
Yes, correct.
There's what?
There is none.
From my understanding, it's a bunch of wires. Get up on, get down on one side. So unless you guys want to walk, what?
Okay.
All
Here's
right,
the
what
doors.
floor?
Just go on.
Ben walks into the elevator.
Oh, okay. Sorry, which floor? Jonas is like top as he as the elevator starts to rumble and slowly lift off the ground. So we have currently 8 people tucked inside this elevator that is not built for 8 people. Not to the detriment of the elevator, but it's very cramped in here. As we move up to the very top floor, it's kind of like a little landing, and then stairs up to an actual like living area.
The elevator doesn't just open to the penthouse.
No. As Jonas kind of like fumbles for a key, unlocks the door and opens it for everyone to go as he holds the door open at the top of the stairs. Well, this is it.
Ben's just like, as soon as he walked off the elevator, he's just looking at it just absolutely perplexed, and just scans it and just backs off, a bit intimidated.
Ben, how long were you in the block?
A couple years. Sorry, what year is it?
Since
It is currently
1749.
Yep, 1479.
Oh, 1479.
Mhm.
I got the numbers mixed up. but-
Yep.
Zins, would the calendar system have changed at all
Nope.
within the last? Nope. Wow.
For
okay.
reference, the events of Campaign 1 was roughly in the 11 and 1200s.
Fuck me. Okay.
It's only like 300-year difference.
Sorry, you said the
Yeah,
first
kind of.
campaign?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, second campaign would have been in the
a
Like
while
zeros.
ago.
even before that, right? Yeah.
800s or
No,
Early
the second campaign would have been on a different calendar system.
oh, gotcha.
Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding, but I also
Like we're
barely-
talking
Yeah,
like
so,
we're
campaign-
talking history of Germany. They're talking about like
Okay.
Romania, like being conquered by
Gotcha.
Rome.
Here.
Like
Here, let's put it like this. Campaign 2 took place in the Roman Empire. Campaign 1 takes place in the Holy Roman Empire. Campaign 3
takes place in
takes
Italy.
place in Italy. Yes.
As a vague representation of it, yes.
Vaguely.
Oh, so Callista would be in history books then.
nice.
Might
Maybe.
probably, yeah.
Oh no, trust me, yes.
So, at this
Stay with
point,
that.
as we enter this building,
It's been a couple of years. Wow. 71? Shit.
We see this living room area open up into a landing. A very nice like red carpet rug, kind of inlaid with a gold kind of thread around. A nice coffee table on top. A window looking over the heart side of the city, purposefully faced away from the area of Bridgeton with the view, as there is a door on either side, couches kind of lined. Seems like the main like living space, and kind of like as a living room essentially. I don't know how else to describe it. There is other words. I won't be using them. Jonas just kind of walks in, puts the keys on a counter next to the door. Okay, I haven't been here much. I know kind of general layout. I don't really know where to look for money and cash.
I am going to do the very slum
should
thing.
be able to help.
I'm going to go to his bedroom and just check in between, inside, and underneath his mattress.
Is there like any large windows or just windows that view out?
There is a window at least on every side of the building.
I knew this guy, kind of. Would I know maybe where he hid money?
All right.
Probably
I mean,
not.
I was a
I would have
business
guessed.
partner, basically.
So
What can I roll to search around?
that is up
I'll
to
help.
you. So
Or how does helping in this work
we're
again?
doing a mechanical thing then. For viewers, we are not playing D&D if you haven't picked up by now. We are playing the Blades in the Dark system. So, to help each other, you guys can either have one person lead a group action and everyone else contribute to that, or you can spend 2 stress to add a die to somebody else's roll.
I'll do the group option.
I guess. I guess this would be survey. Do any of us have points in survey?
I think I have one.
Better than me.
No, never mind. I'm thinking study. I'm thinking.
Ben has one, but he's not going to help.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll do it. I have one.
Okay.
All right.
So that means I'm rolling.
That means you roll 1 dice, and all of us will roll as well.
Yes, so to clarify, what this means is Gregor's roll is the only roll that will matter for the outcome of this action. Everyone else's roll is being made kind of to support that, and for every failure the rest of the party has, Gregor will take a stress.
Gregor takes stress.
Cool. Okay.
So, how many people
It's your
are
turn.
going to participate in this?
I'm helping.
Might as well.
yeah.
So basically
I
everyone
think Ben's
but
the only
Ben.
one.
Ben's
So
a bit petty right
Just
now.
make it a group thing and get it over with.
controlled.
I would call it, controlled. You're not in a rush. Controlled and standard.
It's
Or-
survey, right?
Then
Survey.
Bonus
Okay.
dice.
I would
None?
say no bonus dice for you, Gregor. No.
No bonus. None of us get bonus dice, which just means it's a
I
regular
got
roll
a
for all of
6.
us. Nice.
All right. So
Nice.
everyone else, let's see your rolls.
I got a
Okay,
4.
I got a. Oh, same.
I got a 3.
Mm.
on a regular roll. Are we taking the
So
lowest?
your
don't
regular
roll?
survey.
If you
Okay.
don't have any points in it, you roll 2 and you take the lower.
So
Mhm.
I hope you're ready for this. That's a 1.
All right. So between
Sorry, Gregor. We're gonna be a little stressed.
that's fine.
2
So
stress.
because it's a 1, it is 2 stress just from cold. So you're gonna be taking 3. So if you want to mark down 3 pieces of stress, X. So, everyone kind of searches in their own way. Immediately cold. You're looking at a like under mattresses, inside mattresses. You're kind of like feeling around his bed chamber. I'm gonna real quick describe the layout and kind of area we have. So, we have the living room and landing. On the left, if you're looking out the window from the entrance, There is a bathroom and toiletries. On the right, it opens up into a study, a windowed office with a nice desk, and a circular table with a map of the known world. There's also a pretty large bookshelf in the area. And then it's kind of like a circular donut shape around where the elevator shaft is. Going down from the study into the bedchamber. It's quite large. It's not necessarily extravagant in the most way, and like the biggest way you would think. It's a double bed, nice kind of four-poster. On each side, there's a night table, shelves in each night table, as well as an additional shelf, just kind of for books he reads at night. There is a dining room and kitchen coming off of the living room and bedroom. Dining room, nice kind of ovular table, like kind of dark mahogany wood. A lot of like red curtains throughout the house. A modest chandelier, but one that's noticeable nonetheless. And a set of fine china in a cabinet. And the kitchen, which is a kind of smaller thing. Some of you are surprised by the fact that it is not large enough to have any sort of staff. It seems like this is mainly like his kitchen. He doesn't have any sort of private chefs or anything. Pretty simple, not necessarily bare bones, as a lot of it looks fancied, but it is also very like evident as soon as you walk into this building that Vincent Cross was not a chef. So
He wasn't very independent.
mm-hmm. As we look around, so Cold, Alistar is like patting at his mattress.
Mhm.
You don't necessarily feel anything, but you are going to, as you're kind of feeling the bottom, just get a little nick on your hand. It's not going to give you any damage, but you do kind of find out that more or less this place hasn't been upkept in a tiny bit. Gregor, where are you looking in particular?
My immediate thought went to the couch or any seating area.
All right, so you're
A
still
chair or a
Yeah.
couch, like one of the two.
you're still in this living room landing. As you kind of just take out the couch cushions, kind of pat down, look through the springs, you do notice something. As you pull from in between the couch arm and the actual like base of it, it looks like something that was maybe dropped by a guest. As you see a small like pocketbook. No initials, no writing on it, as it is wrapped in kind of string, like kept closed. Eunice, where are you going?
I think they're probably looking at any of the books. So like the ones in the main like bookshelf, or
So like the study.
the
you
ones
would
in the
say?
bedroom. Yeah.
All right. So, grabbing off of Gregor's success, you're looking through these books on a bookshelf. You yourself have a shit ton of books. You get them basically whenever you can afford it. And as you're examining a lot of these books, something that Alistar has noticed that you kind of also pick up on. A lot of these books are kind of dusty, except for one, which is kind of brushed off and used pretty consistently. So is there anything you
Is
would
it
like
like-
to follow up on with that?
Is it like a certain kind of book, or is it like blank?
So it is a like a full book. On the kind of spine of the book, it describes a because I don't have a title for it. Don't worry about it. It describes a kind of like a atlas almost, like a traveler's guide around Aqquar. It seems like a fairly old edition too. This could have easily been made, like a good 100 years ago. Like it seems like a vintage copy that has been maintained pretty well.
If I open it, does it look like that he just read it a lot, or is there any like writing in it?
As you start to take it off the shelf, flip open. You're kind of leafing through it. It doesn't seem there's anything other than like margin notes, kind of reminders to visit someplace, or talk to an archivist and make sure this is still true. Something that catches your eye as you lift the book off the shelf is there's a small kind of metal circle, almost like a button, where it stood. And before we get to that, we're gonna move over to Alile.
I'm going to the most disused location I can find.
That would be the kitchen. So you make your way into the kitchen. Once again, it is pretty clear that this place is not used. It is kind of like, he probably could cook for himself. Just not very good is your assumption. As you see, the kind of like drying rack for dishes is massive. It's full to the brim. It seems like it has been for a while. Another thing that you kind of notice is the smell of it. As you can tell, whatever food or residue was on a lot of these utensils has been there for a bit. And this kind of whole building has not been in use for quite a bit. Cressida, where are you going? What room immediately attracts your attention?
I'm just going for whatever areas seem more upkept, because odds are if he's interacting with money, those functions will be, if not clean, at least not as disused as everything else.
Sorry, we got fireworks over my area.
There.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn
Oh, that's what that sound is. I was like,
Yeah,
I like how we just had two opposite ideas, Ace.
that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I thought of it way before you thought of like or spoke it out loud about like the dirty, unused area. I was thinking more like, if this is money, he's gonna want to be accessing it. So like
But if
areas
he's paranoid,
that
he's going to want it to be the worst place anyone would want to be.
Alright. So I would say that'd be either the living room landing or the study.
I'll do the study.
Yeah. So you see Eunice looking over at the bookshelf. You notice the map. Something you know is immediately it's not filled out. As you see, there's a section of the southern coast where Lionsbrooke is on. A good portion of the north is simply not depicted, as well as the position of this southern coast leaves room for something else. It leaves room for like a whole different continent on this page.
Okay.
So Ben, what you doing at this time?
Ben, after looking out the window and just trying not to panic at the sheer height of where he is right now, goes to walk over to Jonas. So, Mr. Cross.
Oh, are you addressing me as Cross?
You are more than one than your uncle was. I may not know you very well, but you do have a certain heart to you that I recognize in your great grandparents.
Sorry, I had to do the math there. No, yeah. I don't know. Thank you. I
Time is a little strange for everyone.
yeah, I can't exactly tell you why. That's just kind of my personality. I mean, it seems like you have pretty high expectations of the name, at least.
The Crosses are great people. And I don't know who your great grandfather ended up with in the end, though if there is a bit of family resemblance, I do say I am a bit more than happy and a bit peeved that I won't be getting any coin for the bet I made.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah, that's information.
I'm
I
not going to
can't
claim the dishes. If you want, you can do it yourself. Not
No.
you.
Don't mind her. She's probably just talking to a friend or something.
You see, Jonas just kind of looks around the room, sees you two. That what was that addressed at you?
No. I just I'm a little out there, you could say.
Okay.
Just think about it this way: we have a specific set of skills.
Needless to say, I am a bit more than peeved at your uncle, and I will not be helping him with his last wish.
Then why are
That
you here?
that dirties the tongue. But you, young man,
Mm-hmm.
you lay claim to the name of Cross. You may not view yourself as such.
I mean, I legally not my name.
You may
Oh.
not view yourself as such, but under common mind and a bit of rumination, I have a duty to your family. One that your uncle would have seen undone. But
I'm sorry.
I will.
I'm trying to track all this, and I'm not totally picking everything up. Don't know if that's supposed to be happening.
Who, me or
No, you.
Oh, am I not being heard? I'm sorry.
No, this is
No,
in
you're
character
being
speaking.
heard.
Mhm.
And you're
Eunice is just
confusing
a
the
little
GM.
confused.
Jonas is
No,
just confused.
Eunice is just a little confused.
He's a little guy.
He's just a little baby.
I'm here for two reasons. One, I don't know where Elia lives, and she is my place to stay for the time being.
Lyle's my ride.
And two,
Wait, so who's not going to be in my apartment tonight?
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Just Alistar.
two, I have some small amount of hope your uncle has something in the works for me. Even if it causes me more pain, curiosity gets the best of one such as I. And three, as I have just stated, you are a cross. Mayhaps not in name or legality, but in lineage.
Barely.
And I knew your great grandparents, your great grandparents, and your great grandparents, and my father knew even more of the greats. My connection with you shall not end until your line dies completely.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know my father's name. like I know him. I could not tell you his first name. Like I'm not super great with this whole like extended family thing.
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do not know your father's name, nor your grandfather's name, nor your great-grandfather's name. That does not make me any less of a family friend. That is not how it works with us elves.
I mean, yeah, who am I to say how elves work? At
Hey,
this-
Jonas, quick question.
Oh, yes.
Is there any other place your dad like lived or did business? Because this place seems kind of unkept and I want to say somewhat abandoned.
No, yeah, I've as far
It's
as I'm
his-
aware, this is his main
It's his
place
uncle.
to live. It's I mean, I don't think he had anywhere else. I mean, he might have slept a couple nights in the offices, but other than that, I wouldn't know. So, at this point, I'm gonna go back to Eunice and your shelf button.
Button on a shelf, what will it do?
What would you do?
What will I do? Crescent is in this room with me, right?
Yeah.
I think before I try anything, I do want to put it out to her.
Just be like button.
Yeah,
Wait, you're putting it out to me?
yeah.
Oh, mighty fascinating. Should probably gather everyone else up in case something happens. I just like clap loudly for everyone to hear. Like, we found something.
All right.
Oh, what's that?
Behold, a mystery button.
Very descriptive, no?
I mean, look
And
at
now
it.
that people are here, I'm gonna reach over and press it.
All right. So you're gonna reach over and just kind of tap it with a singular finger.
Yep.
And you see the whole bookshelf kind of turn on an axis. Not even like it's like a hinge. Like the whole thing slides in a circle.
Like the Scooby Doo thing.
Yeah, kind of. Flipping into a doorway into a smaller area. This one's also a like a study like area. It seems like there's a small desk. It is very not lit. There's an oil lamp by the door that's flicked on. But otherwise, there's no other light in this room. As you see, pages and posters kind of in some way adhered to the walls.
Well, I'll be.
God, I knew we were witnessing the beginnings of some sort of mechanical dawn, but the innovations here are boggling to the mind.
That's actually, I'd say about like 20-ish years old.
That's one of the
Jonas
most
just
pointless inventions I've ever seen.
Jonas just kind of pops their head over Ben's shoulder. Wait, you've never seen a door?
One that opened with the press of a button without magic?
Oh, honey.
You were
Oh,
lifted.
honey.
You were lifted almost 100 feet in the air by a metal cage, and the door gets you.
Nah, I think the
Honey, I
cage
have
got him
3 of
too.
these in my apartments. And
This
they're
is one
all
of the
out of
most
date.
pointless inventions I've ever seen. Why
I
not
wouldn't
just
call it-
have a door?
Because you can hide it
You want
behind
a
a
little secrecy in
bookshelf.
You can hide a door too.
And he did, behind a bookshelf.
That's fair.
I saw some of the workings of the of of the elevator. It seemed to be some sort of complex pulley system. I can't claim to know much of anything about it, but I saw
No.
explanation beyond me, sure. But this is you pressed
Gnomes are really good about this. I know
You-
that much.
you pressed a button and it opened a door.
Well,
We might
why
need to
don't we
enroll
see
you in a
what's
few classes
inside
after
of it?
this
Yeah,
just to catch up.
speaking of door, why don't we, look in the door?
Yeah,
Oh, well.
exactly.
Ladies
Yeah,
first. And Cressida opens the door.
Yeah, you walk through.
absolutely. Oh my god, girl boss.
You
Okay.
walk through, see
Ladies
this
first.
like damped, dark study area. All these posters and pages like plastered on the walls. This desk, with a page and a quill. A lot of shelves in this desk too on either side where the chair would be, and there is a kind of like, kicked over chair. You see, out from the desk, as well as on the floor, like kind of bins or baskets, it looks like, of more pieces of paper with a kind of like paper mache glue next to it.
Ben immediately points to the chair. I have discerned something important. He was mad.
Good job.
Mad in what sense? Like angry or like? Ooh.
Indeed, he was mad.
Maybe he was attacked?
Well, in his letter, he did say it wasn't an incident.
Where did your uncle even die? Yeah. How did he die, actually?
I was never really told. I was just kind of told, "Hey, your uncle's dead. Come get his stuff."
Was the funeral open or closed casket?
Closed.
Was he even in the casket?
Was there a body?
I don't know how I'm supposed to know. Like, I assume there is.
What do his papers look like?
What if he faked his death? Alright, well, back to the room.
Well, let's see what's actually going on in here.
Where does our focus go to first?
You said there's like bins of paper.
Yeah, it's like a bin of paper in the corner next to one of the walls, with like an adhesive to stick stuff to a wall.
Oh, okay. And then
Nice
is there anything
study
on the
the
walls?
paper.
Go ahead, give me that study roll. It would be. So which papers? The papers on the floor or the ones on the wall already?
The ones on the floor for now.
Cool. Give me that roll. It's going to be risky standard.
Okay.
Alright, 4. So as you're kind of looking through these pages, it is very wide. Like, it is not in any way a cohesive list, like, thing. It's not a collection that would make sense. As you're looking through, some of them are newspaper clippings. You see one from the Main Times. A massive headline of just sailor's warning. Multiple
Oh shit,
ships
my
lost
teeth
at sea.
alarm.
Another page is a report from his own company, talking about missing supplies. There is some other pages. As you're kind of looking through it, you can't get a massive sense of it, but what you can kind of discern is that all of these kind of papers have an overarching theme of either something missing or something gone wrong. And as you're looking through these papers, as a complication from your 4, there is a kind of small other thing. It's not even like a piece of paper. It looks like a like full cardstock at the very end. Kind of shuffling through the list. There's not a whole lot in this bin. And it seems to be another letter.
Okay. I'm gonna crack that letter.
It is unsealed, not addressed to anyone. As you open it up, you see it is a small, almost like a pinprick, like a small little, barely noticeable like incision in this piece of paper. It's not wide. It's kind of almost like a business card with just a small hole in the middle with no writing on it.
Put the business card up to the light, see if there's anything inscribed in it in a hidden manner.
I guess
Yeah, you put it up to the light. There's no hidden writing on the card. Something you notice is that the light goes through the hole. There's enough space for a like clear beam of light to pass directly through. And you see
Is this an Indiana Jones thing?
And you see a little design in the beam of light through the hole, as it is almost like a microscopic like stamp kind of deal. As you see a little image of a bird in the light.
Okay.
You know, I tried doing that with the letter I got. It's fun to see that one actually has done something, though.
Is this an image that we, the players, would recognize? And
You, the players, I would say no.
so it's not the goldfinches.
No,
Got
it's
it.
not.
Just in case, I'm
Literal
gonna take the
thousands of
card,
years.
put it up to
You
my
never
eye,
know.
and then look at the wall with the papers on it and see if I notice anything specific.
I'm gonna ask for another roll for that. You can choose.
Sure.
If anyone wants
Study?
to help, that is fine.
I would be looking
Stop
through
it.
the book.
Alright,
The
so
note.
5.
I'm just gonna grab the light source and bring it nearer.
Alright,
That's the help I'm doing.
cool.
Ooh.
So, you are looking at the business card, and then, kind of like your eyes following towards the wall. See if you notice anything.
I'm gonna try and reach out to see if there's anything esoteric in this area.
I will get back to you in 1 second. So, Alistar, you're looking around. You see all these papers on this wall. Nothing really shouts out to you. You do see there is a full address for the swell lot, as there is a kind of like poster slash business card for a Leviathan hunting ship and that organization. You do see the full address is partly ripped and smudged from the glue.
Okay.
So, Mariana, Alile is going to do a thing. How are you doing such thing?
I'm rolling attunement.
All right. So you are attempting to attune to your surroundings. Okay. Do a roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Do an aileron roll.
Okay. Lowest roll is a 5.
All right. Partial success. As you kind of try and not necessarily push yourself out into the surrounding area and kind of more like pull anything in, you're sensing. If you had eyes, you would be closing them right now.
I mean, I can still close my
You
eyes.
still have eyelids. As you are sensing your surroundings, you don't have anything manifest. You can't get something that strong. Something you immediately know, though, with this attune, a person has died in this building. Not necessarily recent. You can feel the presence of something dead, not necessarily still here, but at one point staining this area.
This specific room or this building itself?
The building itself. You think you could narrow it down to either this floor or the one below.
Well,
Okay.
only one person's died in this building?
I'm. Someone's died here.
Are
In
you
this
sure?
room?
I'm positive. I don't know if it's this room, but it's either this floor or the one below. Jonas, do you know if anyone lives downstairs?
Oh, yes, building hasn't had vacancy in quite a while. It's, regular apartment complex, I suppose. I don't know too many details about it. Sorry.
And
You will have to beg my forgiveness if standards have changed. Sorry, I'll have to beg forgiveness if standards have changed since my time. The impression that death is a commonality in a building. I'm fairly certain you're never going to find a building a person hasn't died. Death is a natural part of life.
Well, yes.
Not in this area.
Well, I mean, death is a natural part of life that also doesn't exactly happen a lot of the time in the safety of your own home. I don't think.
One can
No.
die of old age.
Question, Jonas,
Yes.
where was Mr. Cross's body found?
I was given 0 details.
Okay.
I can't say it was this building, somewhere else.
That's understandable. Allah, what if you're just attuning to Mr. Cross? If, let's say, he was found here, if he perished in his apartment.
That might be it.
If I had to wait, judging by the state of the blue block, if I'm going to find the answers to the state of how
You kind of cut out there, Minty. Sorry.
it won't be official channels.
Minty, you cut out.
Minty, you're cutting out quite a bit.
At least in that last sentence.
Does anyone have? Oh, I'm sorry.
All good.
Gathering state of the blue block. Am
You're
I heard now?
no,
Nope.
you're cutting out a lot more.
All good.
Nope.
As I said,
Yeah, unfortunately, that was just.
As I
silence.
said, and then just complete silence.
So.
Stop
No.
that.
Why would you do that?
It
I
fits.
wonder if Twitch can hear that.
It definitely can.
Probably.
I thought you turned it
It's part of the.
down.
It's part of the
I
VC.
couldn't find the setting because I'm stupid.
Oh.
Okay, so my I think it might have passed. Am I still bad?
No, you should be good.
No, you sound good, man.
Good for now.
You're better now.
I think what happened was thunder nearby,
Oh,
kind of.
Then
Yeah.
just right click the soundboard button and it'll give you the volume option.
No, don't
Yeah,
tell
that's what I just told you. You could.
Wait, I
You could turn the. You could
I
turn the
haven't
volume
told mine.
down.
1 sec.
Or you
Anyhow,
can right click on our icons.
sorry, what I
Why'd
was
you
saying.
tell
is,
him?
man.
I can't see.
Judging by
Oh, nope, and that's
judging by the
state.
state,
I'll do that later.
judging by the state of the police force when I had left it, I am going to wager we will not find answers to the state of Mr. Cross's death through official channels. If we are to find out more about it, would any of you happen to have any contacts?
No,
Hmm.
not in the slightest.
Since
We
are
could always
cell
go-
phones a thing?
No, God no. You would know there is
Okay.
We
It's more like not even payphones.
A
are really
radio
a thing.
show.
It's yeah, so it's 1920s technology. So it'd be phones would be purely landline and reserved mainly for the rich. If you're lucky, maybe if you pull together some money, Cressida might be able to install one in her apartment complex.
well,
If I ask my family, I can definitely get it done, but that ain't happening.
I will say this. I would love nothing more than to desecrate his body.
Excuse me?
You really do
suggest
not
we-
like this man.
I suggest we go grave digging.
Or maybe he really likes this man.
Weird either way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna act like I didn't hear that.
I don't think that's a great idea, Ben.
Yeah, Jonas just kind of like, yeah, it's a bit early to what's the word?
Grave robbing
Rob.
usually happens a few years after a person's
No,
died.
I was thinking a more official word, but yes, grave rob.
I question. Do you know who was in charge of the handled?
Handled like the investigation of.
Handled just like his burial and all that stuff. You weren't really given much
Oh,
information.
I know it was paid for in full. It wasn't. I didn't have to get anything out of pocket. It was might have been funded by the city council, but I could be wrong.
That's mighty suspicious. Council doesn't really like spending much funds on fucking anything. Let alone a funeral.
So
I'm not sure this one was that much, considering what was there.
Gregor.
Fair, but it's still something.
Gregor, you are looking through the pocketbook found in the couch, right? X.
Sorry?
Gregor's looking through the pocketbook you found in the couch, right?
Yes.
Give me any roll you want to about that.
Oh, you're giving me decisions. This isn't fun.
How dare you make me make decisions?
In my role-playing
Look.
game, never.
Role-playing
oh
in
my
my
God.
role-playing game, they really should have put a warning on it.
I
It-
just realized Pepe Sylvia's Pennsylvania. Fuck.
Huh?
What?
It's way too long. It's past
Yeah.
my bedtime. I need to sleep. I'm doing a
Later.
study roll.
Okay, study. Give me that roll.
controlled standard?
That seems about right.
4.
Okay. First of all, when you like untie it and open it, immediately you feel almost half this book rip out of it and kind of crumple. As your complication is, you get it open, you're reading it fine. It is so small, and you have one very large hand that you just kind of crumple and shred a couple pages.
Specifically
No.
for my character.
That, you,
Like, it's
you
a
just
big
moved.
part of my character, and I forget I have one arm.
As
Look
you
at that.
are
You just.
flipping through the rest of it, you kind of tuck
Don't worry,
those
Gregor.
pages
We'll
into
give you a
pocket.
hand.
You just ruined a perfectly good book there.
As you
I
keep
wouldn't
going
say
through
it's good.
it's like a like you hold it in one hand. It's so small. Like it's maybe
My
like
hand is like
yay
that big anyway.
Yeah. And as you're flipping through the rest of it just with your thumb, the first bit you can't discern because you ripped it. The last bit, you see it's like a checklist, almost like a the way you're looking at it, the stuff on it, it's like a an engineer's grocery list. As you see, what is essentially like 2 tons of just pure steel, a lot of copper wire, like a massive amount of flammable liquid, all of that as like a to-do list, basically.
Can I be peeking over Gregor's shoulder?
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't look like something edible, yeah? Oh, apologies, sir. My name is Baden.
Gregor?
Oh yeah, we haven't actually introduced ourselves to each other, have we?
Well, I know a Lyle's name because she's a Lyle, and I do recognize you. Sorry, I do believe I've forgotten your name, actually.
Don't worry, I
His
wasn't
name is
there for long.
Alistar.
Alistar, that is correct. Now, wait, you wouldn't happen to be the one who shanked me and then I threw a chair at, would you?
That is not me now.
Okay, then we're on good terms then.
You see,
It
kind
is a
of,
line to draw.
yeah, Jonas kind of in the corner. That's it's a low bar.
At least
I
it's
mean,
a
you
bar.
gotta draw the line somewhere.
Wait, did my uncle shank you and you throw a chair at him? Why do you hate him so much?
He's the reason I was in prison to begin with.
No, that'll do it. No, that'll do it.
It was more of an emotional backstab.
And not like an actual shank. Okay. I see.
Yeah, it's more of an emotional shank.
No,
Quite.
that lines up actually.
Continuing, I have introduced myself to some of you, but I will do it officially. My name is Ben.
Well, nice to meet you, Ben. You can call me Miss Cressiday, and I own a few apartment buildings. If you ever need a place to crash,
A landlady, huh?
not just any landlady, I'm the landlady.
She's damn good at
PM.
what she does.
Hmm.
Elia Roneric, local crazy lady, if you will.
To accept it.
Alistar, local medicine man.
That what you're calling it?
Medicine.
Absolutely.
You know what? He's good at it.
Oh, you were the one. You were the one who slipped me narcotics after I got shanked, weren't you?
I was the one that helped you with the pain.
Okay, then we are on better terms then.
You see Jonas again. Oh wow, that is a very low bar.
The bar is in hell.
And I'm limbo dancing with Satan.
The bar was on the ground. You brought a shovel.
And a drill.
You can call me Eunice. You can call me Nina. I'm an engineer, so that's.
Ben raises their hand.
I'm sorry.
Wait, that's a
Yeah.
summer thing. Ben does not
Yes.
raise his hand.
I did it on
Okay.
purpose. Call back.
That too.
Oh my goodness.
Pardon.
Using characters.
What is an engineer?
I was about
I
to
work
say, I
with
heard you
machines
say
and
that,
the
and then Luna die.
Wait, say what?
I
Okay,
heard.
so you know that
Minty-
spinny door. Oh, sorry.
No, Minty said, I raised my hand, and Luna preemptively died laughing.
Yes, because I was like, stop
because
it,
so much
dude.
straight up
Not
killed us
again.
last
Not
time.
again.
Figuratively and literally.
Alright, so.
So an engineer?
They're like the type of people who design like those spinny doors we came in through, or the elevator.
Ah,
That style of things.
They work with machines and the like. It's interesting if you have the time. I can show you some of this stuff.
the magicas of today, then. Alrighty. I will have to pick your brain at a later date.
Sure, that'll be a fun pastime.
Hello, Misty.
Alright, so, I am
Blessings to you.
still
Thank you.
mysteriously without my money that I apparently now owe someone.
Yeah.
Is
Or just own because it's your money now.
Hmm.
You have to do
do
everything,
we
right?
do we have anything else in this building we could get? Is nothing else here?
From
Was there anything in this house that was valuable? We could always sell. We could sell this place. It's a.
I mean, we could. I mean,
I'm not touching the dishes though.
I'd rather not exactly. If
You wish to
we
live
have to.
here?
Understandable.
It is
It's a
your
nice
choice.
place. It needs some work, but that's about it.
You want to live at the top of hell? I want to get out of this building as soon as I'm able.
Is there anything that we're missing?
That is a good question, players.
That shadow of a bird
Mhm.
that
Through the card.
hold on. Yeah, through the card that Alistair found.
Mhm.
Does it look familiar or does it just look like a random thing of a bird?
Would you like to do a roll?
I would very much like to
Yes.
do a roll. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Resolve. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
Condition from hair to background. I guess consort, but I don't have a die in it. Is that fine?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
roll whatever you want.
You can roll whatever
long
you
as you
want.
could
If
argue
you don't, if you don't have a mark in
I'm
it,
just trying to see
you
if I've
roll
maybe
with disadvantage.
Gotcha.
Or you
I'm
can
just
take
try-
2 stress and push yourself.
I'm just trying to see if I've seen it just from working the odd jobs
Mhm.
around the work area. What's the word?
I would also
Wherever I
like
live.
to roll that.
All right. Would you like to
And-
help one another or do 2 separate rolls?
2 separate rolls. We have.
Yeah.
We're looking for different stuff
Yeah.
Mhm.
in it. I would
And you
say.
said 1 stress or 2?
2 stress to push yourself.
Yep.
I would hold off on doing that, given you're already
Because
at 3.
you're yeah.
Sorry.
Look, I don't trust
so-
my
You're welcome.
rolls.
Failing a roll is all bad.
True. So would it be
You guys are.
They're trying to see if they recognize the bird in the light.
You know what,
would
how
that be
about
risky
I
or control?
help with that consorting? Considering I'm actually good at it.
I would say risky standard.
Risky
both.
standard.
Would consort be the right?
Oh,
Well, it's
wait.
consorts if you know people. It is
Yeah.
connections.
Yeah.
If Cressida is helping, does that mean that you just roll one?
Oh no, I'm not helping. I'm doing my own.
So we're
Oh,
doing
you're doing your
three
own,
separate
okay.
rolls on the same thing.
Yeah, so like it doesn't
So-
do any stress.
Oh, okay.
I rolled 2 5s.
Nice.
Okay.
Or I would
Hey,
before
I
I,
got
would
a
roll
6.
anything.
6 to same.
Before
two
you roll
sixes and a
anything, you
five.
say what you're rolling.
So
Consort.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Minty. We already have 2 people rolling 6s. You do not need to.
Yeah.
We do not need 4 people rolling on the same topic.
Shit.
So,
Anyway,
Gregor, with that 5, you don't know it. Even though it's a success, there's not a lot of information to pull out of your brain with this. You kind of know the concept of blank business cards typically being like almost like a claiming thing more than anything. It's not necessarily to get the word out, and more of like you've seen it a lot of the times with contractors, kind of like giving someone a blank business card after a deal is made, as in like this is proof you're doing a thing for me and not anyone else. Why this would be here or why the light is happening, you do not know. Alile. Actually, no. I'm gonna do Cressida first, and Alile, you'll be last. With a 6, you don't know a whole lot of people who would have the resources to make something this fine, something this small on this scale, and make it work. You're kind of thinking this is a lot of either upper class or some sort of like big group. You can't put your finger on it though.
Gives me a direction to pursue.
And then Belial. You also got a 6. So with that success, as you're looking at this kind of bird of light, you can almost like you're trying to just connect anything in your brain. And at that point, you don't necessarily remember, and more the information is brought to you. As you just kind of get a little prick at the back of your brain.
Little birdie told me.
A little birdie told you. This is quite often, not quite often, it is a symbol that some see before they die. You can kind of equate it similarly to like a black spot. So,
Do I know anything more?
not really. You wouldn't know the exact organization. You would know this is
Okay.
a more violent part of the city.
So I've had dealings with this area.
And with that, as we are reaching 3 hours and over, is there any last parts of this apartment we are going to investigate?
I think we've scrounged all that we can.
Has anyone checked the bathroom?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's a bathroom.
Listen,
I'm gonna check it anyways, and let me roll something.
I'm gonna
Okay,
investigate
go to the
the
bathroom.
whore.
my first instinct was to check
know
the
what had-
water tank of the toilet, because you can just wrap something in plastic and stick it in.
Yeah. So, do you
I'm a
want to
very
roll for bathroom?
Roll for bathroom check.
yes. I will
Roll
survey
a
the
bathroom
bathroom.
check. You always have
Survey the
disadvantage.
bathroom.
I do.
Ben walks over to a Lyle.
That's a 4.
Yeah,
Partial success.
I think I'm ready to head home if you are as well.
Uh,
I had a
Alistar.
no.
Sorry.
Bye.
Alistar, you see this bathroom. You're looking around the bathroom. Partial success.
As far as
Sorry. With that partial success, you don't see anything, and more than smell something. There is a large amount of This world doesn't have asbestos 1-for-1. But this building has asbestos.
Oh shit! We need to get out of this walking over it.
I can just say my building does.
So with that,
A queen.
We love you for that.
Oh, if we're gonna leave the apartment though, I will go up to Jonas and be like, "Hey, if you have trouble sleeping tonight, and I give him a small bag with one pill in it, take this before bed. It'll help you go to sleep."
okay.
Hey.
Alistair, what are you doing?
Nothing. In case he needs help going to sleep tonight.
Ben,
You
You
just
were
like to
saying?
give people random shit.
No, it's a light dosage just in case he needs help going to sleep.
I'm gonna leave you alone. That's all.
I just imagine us all agreeing to split up for the night, and then 5 out of 6 of us just go in the same direction.
Literally.
We're like bye.
Like,
And you
okay,
can't,
bye,
you can't say
Alistair.
anything, otherwise it's
Why?
too awkward.
Why are you all walking in the same direction?
We're neighbors!
Ben, you were saying?
I think you're cutting out, my friend.
Yeah, we can't really hear you.
No, we cannot converse. We have split it up. I know. Is it to? Damn it! Hey, it's. I think it's roll 20. It's just like it keeps shitting on the rest of my. Am I any better now?
Yes.
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 A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I will take it. I had a question for you, Lyle. How easy is it to locate someone within the city? As far as I was aware, I was a completely unknown presence until yesterday. Being that someone located me to specifically hand me this letter.
Oh,
Not made.
honey, it's real easy to find someone if you know where to look and who to ask.
I am not a known person within this city. I was walking. I don't even know
Everyone's
where.
a known person.
And being a non-person just makes you more suspect for those looking.
Everybody knows you. Or
Then what's my name, Lyle? Exactly. And Ben walks.
everyone. Whatever. Alright, so what were you thinking for dinner, Ben?
Porridge? I don't know. I haven't had a proper meal in 310 years.
Shit, I'll whip you up something good. You might have to mind a few things though.
As we're all heading out to our own homes, which
Same
happens to be under the
apartment
same
building.
roof.
All of us.
Is there
You know what?
any...
At least we don't gotta worry about never split the party
Yeah.
because
Is there any last things we're gonna do before we end the session?
I would like to describe our apartments.
Okay,
Because I feel that might be important.
go.
Okay.
Okay, Cressida makes sure all apartments have at least a bathroom attached with 2 rooms inside and a kitchen. So you have like some privacy. They're nice apartments, by the way. She keeps them upkept pretty well. Like there's none of that paint peeling stuff. Everything functions as it should be, which is more than you can say about most of the city.
Yeah.
All right. Since I'm the one who suggested it, I'm guessing I'm gonna go first. Elile's apartment has the floor plan described by Cressida. However, the place has some fairly old leather furniture, a radio in the corner, one of the, I guess you could call it a storage room, is completely blocked off, and the door basically is locked. And there's a heavy smell of incense in the air. And quite a few cold patches.
Nice.
That is not Cressida's fault. Just saying.
Oh, most definitely not.
I
It's
wonder
like
how
air
you reacted
conditioning.
when we made the ghost contracts. It's just a binding deal that if either of us break it, we get severely cursed.
I've been through worse.
I
So-
do say I must vehemently disagree with the decorum of the modern day.
This is just me. Other places have a lot more stuff and a lot more that they decorate with.
This is the minimum. This
I'm
is already. This is
This
the
is
minimum.
mostly just me. This isn't the minimum. This isn't. It's just what I have. Most of my shit's in the room down the hall. There is a guest bedroom if you want.
I was just going to take the corner of the room, if that's all right.
Sleep in an actual bed, Ben. At least for tonight. We've been walking in the rain all day. You need it.
Ben, immaculate posture for most of the day, suddenly just completely sags, like looking incredibly small and blob-like.
You're a friend. I'm gonna take care of you for as long as you're comfortable.
Well, I guess I will take the bedroom then.
All right. And I'm gonna whip up the best meal I know how to make.
Which is
Katsudon. Sorry.
Probably something dwarvish.
nice.
Which is
You just kind of like make the dwarvish equivalent of
Potluck.
Well, yeah, because I immediately think for some reason, I equate dwarvish food to like Italian weirdly.
I
Like a lot
equate
of
dwarvish food to be
carved
like
stuff. Like I
feel like
immediately think like
I was
I was thinking like an incredibly spicy thing, because like like not in terms of hot, but like very rich and flavorful.
With dwarves, I was thinking more soups because it's hearty and warm.
Mm. Well, it's like
An
it's like a
Italian version
dwarvish-
of all that.
Yeah, it's like a
I
yeah, like a
It's a
dwarven
very-
carbonara.
Minestrone.
Um, so,
I know how to cook.
unless anyone else has any small story things you'd like to go through, we're going to end our session here. With the party split up, resting in their own spots, and unsure for the coming days.
I
we're
will say
ending
this-
Our first session.
I will say this one thing. Even though Ben was given the bedroom, he did lay in bed for a bit, but after about half an hour, he stood up, went to the corner of the room, and went into trance instead of sleeping.
I figured as much, but at least you sat in a bed.
With varying levels of solace in the events of today, with clues and questions, we will end our first episode of Secrets and Shadows. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, my lovely players, for playing with us. We will not, unfortunately, be playing next week. We have some people going away. We will be right back at it as soon as we can. We have both an Instagram and a Twitter, Legends of Aqquar. That's it. Plug. Follow. We're here almost every week except next week, because that's a different thing.
But
Yay!
Twitter's shitting itself lately. Like, have you seen the thing? Like, 600 tweets. Like, that's including replies and ads. So
hey, I'm
wow.
okay saying this live. Fuck Elon Musk. See y'all.
Fuck him.
Yippee.
Bye, guys.
Join us next time as we
Bye.
begin our plans of shanking the king.
Oh,
First, we make nephew cross the king, and then we shake him.